All right, guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay. Wow, it is time to give you a comparison, and I'll try to keep this one kind of short, under an hour. Oh no, seriously though. Yeah, it's time to talk about one that you guys have been asking for. Which one is better? Which one should I get? Yada yada yada. Um, let's just give this a quick comparison. I'm going to go over the design and hardware, the screens. I'm going to talk about the cameras, performance, battery life, and price. So let's start with the price. This phone has 3 memory options. It has 4 colors, and it costs less. That's it. This phone has 3 color options and 2 memory options. It starts at 256. They both start at 256, but this one goes from 256, 512 to 1 TB, and that's $9.99, 11.99, I believe, and then $13.99. And then this one is $12.20 for a 512 and $1,100 for a 256 gig. So the iPhone Air has the better pricing on that. And I know, if you're going to talk about trade-ins and all that kind of stuff, we're talking about raw pricing, and the iPhone is $100 less in the price, so it wins for the price category. Now, when it comes to the software, this is subjective. This is all about what you like. If you like iOS, then you're gonna love the iPhone. If you like Android, you're gonna love the Samsung. But for a person who is neutral, I play a neutral game with these phones because I'm using both. I'm loving both. They're just both great. The iPhone has more stable, more powerful processor inside and more stable software. That's what it is. The software is way more stable. Android gets updates, but it's easy for Android phones to get left behind if they don't sell well. That's the difference between iOS and Android. iOS phones, they just put them all in the map and they just keep going and just keep updating them. That's how it works. So companies on Android are now saying, we're guaranteeing you 7 years, we're guaranteeing you 5 years. Why do you have to do that? Yeah. But when it comes to picking one, I definitely prefer. And by the way, this video is being recorded with the Pixel 10, and here is my Moonstone Pixel 10 Pro XL. Because sometimes most of the time I'm recording with the Pixel 10 Pro XL. I love this phone. If you've seen my last video, you know where it stands. It's in my pocket. So I'm recording with the Pixel 10 though, not the 10 Pro XL this time. But anyway, yeah, if you're a fan of, if you're neutral on this thing, I want to open up my gift card there. If you're neutral on it, man, you're going to like either one. I will say that iOS is much more smooth, much more stable. When the software goes on, the performance on it is great. And speaking about performance, these both perform very well. They both perform extraordinarily well. It's just going to come down to, again, the software, which you prefer. So with that, yeah, this is just a matter of preference for the software. But I like iOS for the stability, all the features and functionalities that you get as an iPhone user, because there's a lot of things that are just exclusive to iPhones. There's a lot of things that's exclusive to iMessage. It's amazing what you can do in iMessage with people back and forth. This is great. This is incredible. Video games through iMessage. It's stupid. It's unique touches that Apple has done, and they've done well. Now, obviously, I love what Samsung has to offer here, because Samsung's offering for software is phenomenal, man. They pack so much stuff in here, and it's better to have it than not to have it. So either way, they're both great. I say that iOS is a little bit more stable, and it'll probably get more updates than the Samsung Galaxy S25 Edge. Now, these are both first generation phones, and I'm impressed with both. So when I looked at the screens on these phones, here's what I noticed. I noticed when looking at these screens, the Samsung gives a little bit more detail. It gives a little bit more detail, like it makes the items in the video look really crisp or whatever. And the color is off though. The color isn't matching reality. It's not off by much, but it doesn't show true reality of colors. And then when I look at the iPhone screen, the colors are spot on, but it doesn't have that sharpness around the edges of some items. Now the iPhone obviously does extraordinary overall, but sometimes when I put it next to another phone, I can see the softness of the way the video is being produced on the screen versus what the Edge has done. So the Edge also has a bigger display at 6.7 inches versus the 6.5. And it has a little punch hole camera, and the Air has the complete setup up there, a camera and Face ID and all that stuff up there. The Air also has bigger bezels around the. I'm speaking about this stuff because some of you guys care about this. I personally don't care about the bezels around a phone too much, but you can see it. You can see it how they've done the bezels around the Air versus the bezels around the Edge. And so with the Edge coming in with the bigger display and pretty much a almost corner to corner, like you can hardly see any bezels on it. Some might like that. I personally like them both. Neither one of them really bothers me. You know what I'm saying? They both look good, but the Edge does have a bigger display and a bigger screen on it, less bezels on it and stuff like that. So preference, but yeah, when I'm watching content on both, the iPhone is extraordinarily accurate, and the Edge has more detail from what I could tell. Now, let's talk about the camera quality on both of these. Here's where I feel like it gets very interesting, because the camera quality, this is a 200 megapixel camera. We all know megapixels only mean so much, but this is a 200 megapixel camera on here, and this is a 48 megapixel fusion camera with a single lens. Now, when I compare apples to apples, just shooting video on both, the Edge has the advantage because it can go widescreen, but that doesn't mean that it's better quality from the main sensor. So the Edge does get the edge. It gets an extra half a point for having that ultra wide. However, the video cameras on the iPhone Air are stupendous. Stupendous. I mean, I'm talking about really top-notch quality. It's ridiculous how good the quality is. And that's why I like the iPhone Air's videos better. Now, another area where the iPhone beats out the Edge is the front camera. As a matter of fact, all the new iPhones are beating out almost all front cameras on smartphones right now, because what they've done is made it square. So you can basically you can hold your phone like this towards you without doing all the tilting and stuff like that, and you can get the same orientation video, which is absolutely great. You can get 16:9 or 9:16, no matter what you do. So you essentially get like the wider view to fit more people in on the front camera, and it's great, man. This front camera has proven to be so good. It's one of the main things people are talking about with this phone. That's just what it is. They're talking about. You can't deny it. It's just really, really good. And yeah, like I said, the Edge has the advantage with that ultra wide, but I'm learning that, and you guys know I'm an ultra wide person. I don't want telephoto. I want ultra wide. So I'm really hopeful that they actually bring an ultra wide version on this next iteration of this, because folks, believe it or not, I think this phone is selling very well. It is getting so much praise and so much hype and so much conversation. Apple could see it. This phone is sick. It's really good. It's more than just hardware. The iPhone 17 lineup is more than just Surface, but this phone being the actual new product, it's getting a lot of attention, and it's well deserved too, I gotta admit. So camera quality, totally give the Edge to the iPhone Air. It is much better in quality. HDR is better on the Edge. Everything's better on the Air for video quality and things like that when it comes to comparing it against the Edge. So I definitely give the hit to the iPhone Air. Now let's talk about the design and hardware. Now, here's where the Edge gets another half point up on the Air. You have another lens here. You have stereo speakers. You get a bigger display. It's just overall the package put together on the Edge. Here's where I favor the Edge over the Air. Brushed aluminum sides. Love the brushed aluminum sides. Love that I have an ultra wide camera. Love it. The color blue on here is a little funky, but I still like it. But overall, the Edge, I love brushed aluminum sides, And I love that it has, I like the camera array on here too. I love how that looks. Remember I was saying in another video reviewing the Edge, I really hope that the S26 Ultra lineup takes that approach. Now, here's what I like about the Air over the Edge. While the Air is on paper just a little bit thinner, you shouldn't be able to tell in hand. Folks, you can tell in hand. Reason being is because it's chamfered off on each corner and all around. It's rounded off, period. The Edge is too boxy. This is Samsung's thing. They're making all these boxy phones, and the Plus models of the Samsung lineup, those are the best ones to feel in hand. The Plus and the regular 25, those are the best ones to feel in hand. The Edge, the Ultra, all those, the even this big boy right here, the Fold 7, the Z Flips up, they're all boxy. They're boxy phones, and so that's where the Air is winning over the Edge, in my opinion, because it feels better in the hands. It just falls away in your hands, huh? It just falls away. It's freaking great. And it feels better in the hand than the Edge too, for that matter. Now, again, it is lacking because it has one stereo speaker or one mono speaker and then one single camera. But I've already told you how I feel about the camera quality on that. So, while the Edge has more physical things on the hardware, I prefer the Air for feel in hand, and it just feels better when holding it for a long time. So that's my spill on the Air and the Edge. I like them both, but if I was going to recommend one to you, I would recommend the Air if you're neutral on operating systems, because I think that the more people that use the Air, folks, you will get over the fact you might not think you and remember, I have Pro phones labeled Pro. I have phones with all these cameras and things like that. But when you use this phone, if you focus and just only use this phone, you're not going to feel like you're missing anything. Depending on who you have to be a very open-minded person. You have to be a person who's not looking at what something doesn't have. And do you buy a car and then say, oh, it doesn't have this, it doesn't have this, it doesn't have this? No, you buy it and you make do with what you have, and you make the best of what you have. And this is not giving an Air a pass. There'll be people that say, oh, you're giving the Air a pass. You're paid by Apple. All this nonsense. I don't care about any of this. That's childish. Listen. When people who have this phone also have all these other Pro phones I have, most of them. And a lot of people are starting to come forward and say, man, I got the Air 17 Pro. They got the Air and the 17 Pro Max or whatever they have. And they're like, man, I use the Air more. Yeah, it's just, it proves that it's like Tesla. It's like Teslas. People talk about Teslas being horrible in the interior. They're boring. But reality is, do you really need all those other things inside of cars? Most of it is a distraction. But I will say this, there are going to be people who take the Edge because it have those additional features on the hardware, like stereo speakers and an extra camera. Yeah, there's going to be people who take that over the Air. But if you ask me, Jay, I don't have a bias to Android or iOS. Which one do you recommend? I'm going to say take the Air. That's what I'm going to tell you. Take the Air. The Air is a winner for me of these two. Feels better in the hand, better video quality. Battery. I didn't touch on battery, but I will say that the battery on these, they're the same for me. Like I'm making it through a full day on both. But the Edge, the Air has an edge over the Air because the Air has an edge over the Edge because it has that exclusive battery that goes onto the back here if you want to. And it doubles the capacity of this to 6,300. This has a 3,900 milliamp hour battery basically, and this has a 3,150. But I'm telling you folks, with regular usage and like you use your phones the way you normally would, the Air is going to have the same type of battery, if not better for some people, over the Edge. And I know a lot of you guys can't get both of these phones. You only have one. But just kind of look at it from an open mind standpoint. I'm not the creator that's getting paid to say things or taking. If I have a sponsored video, I have a sponsored video, but it doesn't sway me on my opinion on the products. And these are not sponsored videos at all. Even if they were, I still would feel the same way. I think the Air is amazing. And you think about it that way, Apple has never invited me to any of their events. No, nothing. But I keep it neutral and I keep it fair. And I'm telling you, this one is taken by the Air. Bars on the way out. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.